not only because I'm from Uasin Gishu, but also because I'm an old girl of this school. I was in Highlands those days. This was our assembly room. I want to thank the principal. She's a wonderful principal. I've been visiting. And you give her 10 minutes notice, PS, and she will do it. So that is the kind of person you gave us, and I thank TSC for that. Here we are to congratulate you, CS, and the stakeholders. I want to congratulate the Examination Council for a very, very smooth examination process time. I congratulate you because handling about 1 million students smoothly and without any complaint is really something that we must thank you for. Thank you, CS. That was really well done. And your stakeholders did a very good job. I am very delighted to hear that there is hiring of teachers. The TSC has done their best. As a member of the committee, we have had sessions with TSC for a number of times to look into how education in this country can be implemented very smoothly and to the best, for it to be the best for all our students. CS, allow me to also congratulate you on the report that was done by the task force. The task force gave very bold recommendations, and we would like to encourage you to implement those recommendations. One of the ones that we picked in our committee, and Chair is here, was the issue of dealing with equality in education so that everybody can access equal education. Our education system is such that we do exams on the same day, all of us throughout the country. The child in Turkana is doing the same exam that the child in Moi Girls is doing and the child in Lamu is doing. Equality in education is extremely important so that the teachers must be facilitated equally throughout the country. And that was one thing that came out from the report. The other one that came out from the report that we were
That is the ongoing release of the 2023 Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education happening at the Moi Girls School in the county of Uasin Gishu. That's Eldoret to be specific, where we had an array of speakers, amongst them the Chief Executive Officer of the Kenya National Examination Council, who made the announcement that the registration for Kcse and Kcse will be starting the 29th of January and will end 2 months later on the 29th of March, the 60-day period with which he said the candidates should be registered. And further, the Principal Secretary, Belio Kipsang, also said that the details of the candidates for Kcse will be extracted from the Management Information System, names which he said will be the backbone of the data that the Ministry of Education will be using. Among the other officials who also spoke is the Chief Executive Officer of the Teacher Service Commission, Nancy Macharia, who said that 29,876 examiners had led to the marking of the Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education, and thereafter also committing that the Teacher Service Commission will be working on an elaborate plan to get additional teachers until the deficit is bridged, talking about 42,117 teachers, which is the shortfall at the moment of the junior secondary schools across the country, even as now the country shifts full gear to the competency-based curriculum. Among the other speakers was also the chairperson of the National Assembly's Education Committee and Tinderet Member of Parliament, Julius Meli, who talked about the shortage of 70,000 teachers, which he said the government is at the moment focused on, with a priority and a focus on the employment of the tutors, to what he said is the elaborate scheme the government is at the moment deploying to ensure that the education sector is not affected by the shortfall. Also, the retooling aspect he talked about of the teachers and the competence-based curriculum, which he said will be benefited by the retooling of the teachers. The education officials, led by the Cabinet Secretary of the Ministry of Education, Ezekiel Machogu, briefed President William Ruto early morning in Eldoret, where they had taken him through the outcome of the 2023 Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education that at the moment is ongoing. The release that is a function at Moi Girls in Eldoret, and the last speaker was Professor Margaret Kamar. According to David Njengere, the CEO of the Kenya National Examinations Council, 899,453 candidates sat for the examination. No single case of early exposure, he said, in the second paper examination rolled out by NEC was experienced across the country, and congratulating the examiners, who he said are the center managers who had center managers during the examination period, which were administered in November last year. And also talking about the registration of the candidates. These were the earlier pictures of the Education CS Ezekiel Machogu and other officials who have briefed President William Ruto in Eldoret, taking him through the outcome and an executive summary of the outcome. There you see Belio Kipsang, the Principal Secretary, and also the Chief Executive Officer of the Kenya National Examination Council, David Njengere, and also Julius Nyabundi, who is the Chairperson of the Kenya National Examination Council, and also the Chief Executive Officer of the Teacher Service Commission, Nancy Masharia. The interesting bit is that the release of the 2023 Kcse examination comes against the backdrop of the release by the Ministry of Education officials and confirming the timeline that is last week and coming to today, of course, when it's the revised that unveiled. And this is the amid the revised structure of the reduction of number of compulsory subjects that were used to reach the candidate's final score from previous 5 subjects to only 2, according to the Ministry of Education. And under the new grading by the Ministry of Education, the 2 compulsory subjects will be mathematics and any language, either English, Swahili, or National Sign Language. The 2 compulsory subjects now, according to the Ministry of Education, are mathematics and a language, and the other marks will be derived from the 5 best performing subjects. The changes are part of the recommendations as contained in the Presidential Working Party on Education Reforms that was put together by President William Ruto, and which had given him or handed a report to him with an aim to increase university entry qualifications across the country. Under the previous grading system, according to the ministry, the 5 compulsory subjects included English, mathematics, Kiswahili, 2 sciences, and 2 others. The shift, therefore, stems from concerns that were raised by stakeholders against the previous system being seen not to favor students whose subjects did not fall within the mandatory cluster. And that is at the moment what is happening at Moi Girls in Eldoret in the county of Uasin Gishu, where President William Ruto early morning, just a brief of what has happened, was briefed and given a summary of the outcome of the 2023 Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education outcome. Among the first speakers was the Chief Executive Officer of the Kenya National Examination Council, David Njengere, who talked about, besides the number of candidates who sat for the examination, the registration for this year's examination, which he said will be starting on the 29th of January, that is in about 21 days' time, and is set to lapse on the 29th of March. That is the 2 months window period, which he said will be ample enough for the registration of candidates for Kcse and the Kcse examination. 60 days, which he said is enough for the education stakeholders across the country, both private
role to make sure that we used to have our assembly in. It was still a very small school those days. And today I've come accompanied with my cousin who was always my classmate, Chebet Chemjor. So I was telling her, let's go back to our old school and support Waziri. So Waziri, thank you for actually having the wisdom to decide to announce the results, not only from my hometown, but also from my former school. Thank you. And for me, this announcement of results is very dear to me because, like Honorable Kamara said, that we should encourage, and that is my message to those who will receive their results today. I congratulate you all for whatever results you will get. But most importantly is to tell you that whatever results you get is not going to define you. I must tell my own story. When I did my CPE in Hill School Eldoret, I was at the bottom of my class. I had the lowest mark in Hill School in that year, totally at the bottom. In fact, I couldn't get a place in secondary school. But because my sister was already at Loreto Convent, Matunda, the nuns decided to allow me to go to the school just to keep us together. And by the time I finished at Loreto Matunda, I was top of my class. And by the time I came to this school, I was right at the top of the school. So I always tell young people, one result does not define you. I was always a C student, probably even a D student when I started out. But I completed with a strong finish as a straight A student. So Waziri, I'm a strong believer in that in as much as we have the examinations for our students, we must also know that at every stage of their lives, they have a chance to improve. And that's why the examining system must be made in such a way that it's not an elimination program, but an accommodating program, so that all students, even the C students like me who are at the bottom of the class, can continue to be encouraged and have hope and know that that can actually change. And even for those students today who will receive their results, and you may not be at the top, maybe you get the bottom mark, remember, you have the opportunity to go to TVETs, to go to other colleges, and eventually you might make your way to be a professor. And a casing example is my uncle, whom you know, Professor Kcse. He was a Form 2 dropout, but today he's a professor. Again, he went through the certificate program, the the diploma program, degree, and eventually made their way. So Waziri kindly encouraged that people can take those steps and make their way. So with those few remarks, I just want to congratulate those who will receive their results and to tell them that this is not an end in itself. You can define your own circumstances. This should not define you. And also for those who will be the top of the class, I know a lot of people who finish at the top, but because of indiscipline issues and they become complacent, eventually they don't succeed in life. So at the end of the day, it is what you do and the decisions you make every single day as a young person along your journey in life. Thank you very much, and may God bless you, and thank you for the progress that has been made in the education sector. Asante sana.
Thank you very much. I know we are absolutely running out of time, but I just want the area MP to have a word. Thereafter, I will invite the governor, and then we release the results, because I can see the CS is getting worried because he's supposed to be in another function.
Thank you very much, PS, CS, and all the invited guests. Good morning. We have agreed, we have entered into an agreement. As you know, I'm a lawyer. We have entered into an agreement that I will only speak for 1 minute. And if it exceeds 1 minute, I have asked the MP for so to blow the whistle. Because I hope you are going to give him also 1 minute like myself. Sorry, my name is Samuel Chepkong. I'm the area member of parliament for Ainapco constituency. Sorry, I came late because I started where the students who will be receiving their results this morning started from. I was handing over a primary school which we did renovation just here, Kcse Primary, and you know you don't ignore small beginnings. So I started from where these others will be receiving their exams, their results. I want to say this, CS, I want to thank you very much. Welcome to Ainapco constituency and welcome to Moi Girls. This is one of our flagship secondary school. They ordinarily take 99.5% to university. So when you release the exams, I hope it is going to be 100%. If it is not, then we will doubt. Because we have established a precedent. You know, I told you I'm a lawyer. So when a precedent has been established, you don't depart from it. It can only be 1 degree or 0.5. So the results we'll be expecting this morning for Moi Girls would be in excess of 99.5%. And if we don't get there, we know that we'll doubt the results. We will know that we didn't work very hard. You know, I want to finish by saying, as you have made this place, indeed your home this morning to release the exams, we are truly very grateful that you have honored us as a constituency and as a county. So I want to thank you very much because, you know, when President Nelson Mandela came out of prison in 1991, this is what he said. He said, and he found South Africans who were very poor in terms of education. They were very ignorant because they were not taught on a number of issues. And he said education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change your world. So, Mr. Minister, as you release these exams, I am sure those who will be receiving their exams, whatever grades they will get, that grade will change their world. Whether they will get a C minus, which, you know, as you know, Mr. CS, I have 2 TTIs in my constituency. I have RVTTI and I have KTTI in Kipkabos. And I'm also completing KMTC in Banforest, which will be opening in August. And so we have very many places where these students will go. So nobody is a failure. Everybody will have succeeded in whatever grade they would have gotten. I thank you very much and God bless.
Thank you very much. Governor, you can come and then recognize your senator because I can see your senator has come. I would want to recognize the Education Committee members, Honorable Nabi, Nabuera who is here, Troy Tichu is also here. I would want to recognize the MP for Soy, DK Kiplagat is here also. So, Governor.
Na mtazamaji, tuiradhi kutokana na hitilafu hiyo, tutakuwa tunaendelea kuelekea tarehe 29.
Oya, hebu cheki Mashakura
wanaume kati ya idadi hiyo ilikuwa 1443,644 ambao walikuwa ni wanafunzi wa kiume na 1437,772 walikuwa wale wa kike, mtazamaji. Na pia tunaangazia wale ambao walipata alama za kuingia katika vyuo vikuu wa mwaka 2022. Watahiniwa wa mwaka huo walikuwa 173,345 na wale ambao walipata alama A walikuwa 100,146. Mtazamaji, ndio takwimu za mwaka 2022. Tutakuwa tunasawazisha na mwaka huu 2023. Mtazamaji, kama unavyojua mtazamaji, tunasubiri matokeo ya mwaka 2023 Kcse, ambapo Waziri Ezekiel Machogu anatarajiwa kutangaza wakati wowote kuanzia sasa kule katika shule ya upili ya Moi Girls Eldoret, ambapo watahiniwa 1,903,260 waliandika mtihani huo mwaka uliopita. Kumbuka kwamba ni wiki kama 6 hivi tangu walipokamilisha mtihani huo, ambapo kwa sasa tunatarajia kupata matokeo hayo moja kwa moja kutoka kule Eldoret tunatarajiwa. Na kama nilivyokueleza mtazamaji, rais ametangaza kwamba anataka uchunguzi ufanywe kuhusiana na wale watahiniwa 3,000 ambao walijiandikisha kufanya mtihani huo lakini walikosa kufanya mtihani huo, ili waweze kujua ni yapi yalitokea katika hatua hiyo au katika zoezi hilo zima, mtazamaji. Pia amesema kwamba ametangaza kwamba hatua kali inafaa kuchukuliwa dhidi ya wale ambao watakuwa wanajihusisha au watakuwa wametangazwa kujihusisha katika udanganyifu. Tuelekea kule, naeleza kwamba hali iko shwari.
To make his comments and release the results for 2023. Karibu Waziri.
Yeah, thank you very much, PS. Your Excellency, the Governor of Uasin Gishu County, the Principal Secretary, Minister of Education, State Department for Basic, the Chairman, Kenya National Examination Council, the CEO and the CEO, Teacher Service Commission, my Chairman, Senate, Chairman, National Assembly, Madam Speaker, and all the members of Parliament present here, not forgetting the host, Mr. Kirui, the Principal, thank you very much, the County Commissioner, and all the senior officials from the Ministry of Education. Good morning. Members of the fourth estate, thank you very much. Good morning. Yeah, thank you very much. This morning, I had an exceptional engagement with His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, as a prelude to this event, during which I will be releasing the 2023 Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education Examination results. Our lengthy conversation also attended by my senior education sector leaders who are together with me here, focused on the broad, deliberate, and robust reforms that our country is so ably rolling out in the face of a challenging economic environment. One of the discussions was on teacher employment, and my chairman is here. His Excellency made it clear that in the next financial year, we will again be employing another 20,000 more teachers. During our engagement, His Excellency President Ruto made it abundantly clear to us about the government's unwavering commitment and undivided attention to the provision of quality education to all Kenyan children, right from the ECD level to university. The President instructed us to ensure that there will be no Kenyan child who would be left behind in the enrollment to school, retention, transition and progression until completion of the basic education level in line with our Constitution. Additionally, the President gave us firm instructions to particularly ensure that runners from all sets of households, especially those whose families are at the bottom of the economic pyramid, are financially supported to access all levels of learning in tandem with the government's bottom-up economic transformation agenda. The release of 31.34 billion to primary, junior, and secondary schools, To portrays the President's commitment, the provision of the free running program in the primary school level and the free tuition learning program at the junior and the secondary school levels, the National Treasury released Kenya shillings that 1.34 billion to support runners enrolled in the subsector. These funds have effectively cleared the way for a smooth opening of schools for the first term of the 2024 calendar year countrywide as effective from today. This disbursement was distributed as follows. Free primary education, 4.74 billion. Capitation for junior schools, 7.60 billion. And I'm also happy that His Excellency and the government gave out examination and invigilation fees, 2.80 billion, unlike before, where those who worked in invigilators and the rest used to wait for almost a year. Today, we're actually completing each and every payment. There will be nothing pending. Secondary schools, government has given out 16.20 billion, making the total that 1.34 billion. I did have an engagement that was last week on a Tuesday between my peers, the CS National Treasury and the PS National Treasury, and the money was released to us on Wednesday. We have dispersed this money to all the schools, and I'm sure that the money must by now be in the respective accounts of the schools, may it be primary, junior school, or secondary schools. This year, our first cohort of the CPC will be transitioning to grade 8 and the junior school. Although we are also excited at this milestone, we are also aware that the cohort will be transitioning to grade 9 in 2025 and will be expected to pose a massive strain on our existing infrastructure. To preempt this crisis, the government is set to spend 12.8 billion to facilitate the construction of classrooms in the junior schools in conjunction with members of parliament. Through these funds, we expect to have 15,015 classrooms ready for use in junior schools for grade 9 next year. In line with the Presidential Working Party on Education Reform report, the Ministry of Education has rationalized the number of learning areas and the curriculum designs in terms of scope and integration of subjects within learning areas as a way of eliminating content, overload, and overlaps in the basic education. The Ministry has already issued instructions to schools to ensure that the implementation of these changes starts with effect from today in all schools hosting CPC runners. I wish to assure the country that the Ministry, working with the Kenya Institute of Curriculum Development, has started a process of reviewing textbooks aligned with the rationalized designs. In the meantime, I urge teachers to continue using the existing already approved textbooks since they have relevant content, tasks, and assessments for runners as guided by the curriculum designs. I have directed the Kcse to ensure that the curriculum designs are updated in the Kcse website by the end of this week. We did reduce the number of comparative subjects, as you are aware, from 5 to 2. In a departure from tradition, this is the first Kcse examination research to be released under the new grading structure that was implemented in the year 2023 Kcse examination. This was approved and as authorized by the NEC Act, and we have been able to implement this. Under this system, the overall grade at Kcse examination has considered mathematics the best performed language subject, among them English language, Kiswahili, Kenya Sign Language, and the best performed 5 subjects. As you would find out when I release the results, the new reform measure will allow a larger number of students to pursue courses of their choice at their universities, diploma and achievement training at certificate and arts levels that was previously not the case, as the system was more restrictive. It is clear from the new grading system that the ministry is now focusing on ensuring that our candidates are mandatory literacy, English or Kiswahili, and the numerous degrees in mathematics to enable them pursue their careers in TVET institutions, universities, and colleges. Arising from the changes in the new grading system, therefore, I am directing the Kenya Universities and the College Central Placement Service, Kcse, and the universities to align their cluster points and the entry requirements with the new reforms to avoid disadvantaging the candidates. I ask the NEC to complete their process and hand over the final results to Kcse to pave the way for the start of the placement process. Additionally, I direct the Kcse to mount a robust career awareness campaign among the 2023 Kcse candidates to ensure all students understand the new TVET and the university entry requirements under the higher education funding model that was launched last year. More importantly, I direct the Kcse to immediately put in place measures to allow the 2023 Kcse candidates wishing to join TVET institutions to apply for their courses ahead of the March 2024 admissions. For the first time, the ministry introduced a new system of correcting examination materials from the 576 distribution centers countrywide twice each day. This meant that in the morning, usually at 7 a.m. daily, center managers could only pick up the first paper of the day. If the candidates had the first paper of the day, the center managers were then required to return to the distribution centers to pick up the second paper that the candidates could sit in the afternoon. I'm happy to report that this change in examination distribution, coupled with the efficient work of examination professionals, was able to substantially reduce the cases of early exposure of examination papers. I wish to thank all the center managers who took their time to effect the double correction policy and uphold the integrity of our examination. The release of the Kcse examination will be followed by the release of the Kcse reports for candidates who sat the grade 6 assessment in 2023 in the next few days. I urge your parents, guardians, and teachers to scrutinize the Kcse reports to ensure they use the result to monitor learner progress as they transition to grade 7. Allow me to register my appreciation to His Excellency the President, Dr. William Ruto, and his government for the support they offered us during the administration of the 2023 Kcse. I also wish to recognize with appreciation the support accorded to the Ministry of Education by my counterparts in other government ministries, departments, and agencies during the 2023 Kcse examination. The multi-agency collaboration spearheaded by my colleagues Professor Kindiki and Waro of the Ministry of Interior and Coordination of National Government, and IT and Digital Economy, respectively, was impressive. Administering the 2023 Kcse examinations came in the face of adverse weather conditions occasioned by the El Nino phenomenon. This caused massive challenges in the delivery of materials to some examination centers that were cut off by floods and flooding rivers. Delivery of examination materials from NEC headquarters to the 576 distribution centers countrywide was also not spared by the effects of the heavy rains. We had to resort to air transportation in some areas to surmount the challenges in a bid to ensure that all candidates received their question papers. The examination administration was also threatened by insecurity in some parts of the country, such as banditry-related instances, as well as acts of thuggery. I wish to thank all the teachers, field officers, security officers, NEC officers, and other stakeholders who braved the odds to make the conduct of the examination possible. I also wish to thank members of the public who came in to support the process in various ways. Allow me to also commend the 2023 Kcse examiners who reported the 40 marking centers immediately they were called upon after the conclusion of the administration of the examination. As I promised during the release of the 2023 KCPE examination results, all the examiners have now received their payments, and immediately after this, through M-Pesa, we are making sure that by the end of the day, this must be done. Overall, I wish to thank the Almighty God for the successful completion of the 2023 Kcse examination administration cycle. I also thank you for assembling here this morning for this exercise of releasing the 2023 Kcse results for the 899,453 candidates who concluded the examination on November 24th, 2023, and are now eager to join various higher learning institutions to pursue careers of their choice. When I released the 2023 KCPE examination in November 23rd, 2023, November, I promised that the Kenya National Examination Council would administer a supplementary examination for 9,000 candidates who failed to sit the examination. Upon further audit and scrutiny of the number of candidates who actually failed to sit the examinations, the Council has only been able to trace 2,000 eligible runners. Since the number so far located is more to warrant a national examination, it has been decided that the 2,000 candidates join Form 1 starting January 8th, January 15th, that is next week, and be allowed to sit qualifying examination later. They will, however, be advised to ensure they sit the individual qualifying examinations by the time they join Form 3 to enable them be registered to sit the Kcse examination at Form 4. I direct the Council to release further guidelines regarding the entry examination. During the 2023 Kcse examination, a total of 899,453 candidates sat the examination compared to 881,416 candidates in 2022. This represents an increase of 18,037 candidates, which is 2.05%. However, I should note that the number of candidates that sat the Kcse examination last year, was raised by 3,685 compared with the number that actually registered to sit the examination. I am concerned with the number that failed to sit the examination, as it could point to a situation where some schools could be inflating the figures of registered candidates to meet the minimum threshold of 30 candidates required to be enlisted as an examination center. Although there could be more reasons for the missing candidates, any misrepresentation of figures could imply a wastage of public funds since the government pays examination fees for candidates based on the data submitted by schools. I therefore direct the relevant Directorate of Quality Assurance to work with the Kenya National Examination Council to investigate the 3,685 candidates who failed to sit the 2023 Kcse examination with a view to unearthing the true identity and whereabouts of the 899,453 candidates who sat the 2023 Kcse examination, 450,554 were male, while 448,899 were female, representing 50.09% and 49.91% of the total candidature, respectively. This indicates that the country has achieved gender parity at the secondary education level. During the year 2023, Kcse examination in 11 counties had a significant entry of more merit and female candidates. These were Garissa, 66.39% compared to 33.61%, Mandera, Wajir, Turkana, Samburu, Narok, Mabei, West Pokot, Mombasa, Migori, and Ramu, while 9 other counties had a significant entry of more female than male candidates. This being Vihiga, Elgeyo Marakwet, Kirinyaga, Meru, Kiambu, Nairobi, Kisumu, and Kitui. The number of candidates who were aged 16 years and below increased from 12,710 in the year 2023 to 16,040, which was 1.776% in the year 2023. The highest percentage of candidates registered for the 2023 Kcse examination were within the appropriate age bracket of between 17 to 19 years, constituting 632,288, which was 70.01% of the total candidature. The percentage of candidates who were 20 years and above constituted 254,810, which was 28.214%. Out of the 30 subjects offered in 2023, 12 subjects recorded a significant improvement in performance. These subjects were mathematics, and we thank the teachers for this effort and the students, because for the first time, we are actually confirming an improvement in mathematics. The other one was Kiswahili, biology, CRE, business studies, Germany, music, chemistry, building construction, French, and electricity. 14 subjects also recorded a drop in performance. These were English language, Kenya Sign Language, physics, computer studies, history and government. And for the first time, we are seeing a decline in performance in history and government. It is normally done in the afternoon. You can see now that early exposure, was missing. Equally, geography used to be done in the afternoon. You can also see there was a decline. Equal agriculture, and some of the subjects here which used to be done in the afternoon, we are seeing a decline in performance. Power mechanics, metalwork, woodwork, drawing and design, and art and design, home science, there was a decline in performance, including Islamic religion. Female candidates recorded better mean score performance than male candidates in 5 subjects, that being English language, Kiswahili, home science, and art and design. Male candidates recorded better mean score performance than female candidates in 10 subjects, this being mathematics, biology, chemistry, general science, history and government, geography, agriculture, computer studies, and business studies. There were 1,216 candidates, which is 0.14%, who obtained an overall grade A in the year 2023, compared to 1,146,000, which was 0.13% of the candidates in the previous year, that is 2022. The number of candidates who attained the minimum university entry qualification this year, C+ and above, was 201,133, which was 22.27% in the year 2023, compared to 173,345, which was 19.62% in the year 2022. This is as a result of the application of the new grading system that reduced the number of compulsory subjects required to compute the mean grade. The number of candidates attaining a pass grade D+ and above was 526,222, which is 58.27% in the year 2023, compared to 522,588, which was 59.14% in the year 2022. The national schools produced the highest number of candidates with an overall mean grade of A, where we had 889 A's from national schools, which was 2.486%, followed by county schools, 172 A's, which was 0.096%. Private schools, we had 143, which was 0.221%. County schools, we had 5, which was 0.004%. And the sub-county, and I would like to give an emphasis this, these are day schools which had 7 A's, and which was 0.001%. Overall, I'm improved by the quality of grades that are coming out of our day schools that produced 283 candidates in mean grade of A and minor and A minor in the 2023 Kcse examination. I urge all stakeholders to invest more in the sub-county schools where more of our runners attend schools. You will also be able to see from the table that sometimes we assume that everybody who goes to a national school gets a university entry, but you can see about 20 of the candidates had a mean of a D- from national schools. So it is not always the case that anybody and everybody who goes to a national school will be able to make it to. As the Cabinet Secretary, I'm also pained by the fact that a large number of candidates, 48,174, or 5.33%, still ended up scoring a mean grade of E in the year 2023 Kcse examination, even after the ministry used a more flexible system of computing the final overall candidate research. I therefore directed the Directorate of Quality Assurance to work with the field officers and teachers to investigate this E-grade cases in each county of the country and submit a report to me within 1 month for further action. As a country, we must start interrogating data and evidence to enable us to make critical decisions that could ensure that we realize our return on investment from all the resources that the government puts in the education sector. Now, we come to examination irregularities. As much as we try to minimize, and we were successful in minimizing our exposure and hence the number of irregularities we used to experience there before, we still had a few cases of irregularities. There were a total of 4,113 candidates who were reported to have been involved in examination irregularities in the year 2023 Kcse examination. Of this, we have cancelled results of 4 cases of reported impersonation after completing investigations. The results of the remaining 4,109 candidates had pending the completion of investigations in their cases within a period of 20 days from today. The Council is empowered in law as provided in the Kenya National Examination Council handling of examination irregularities, rules of 2015, legal notice number 132 of 2015, rule 8 to withhold the results of any candidate or examination center suspected to have been involved in an examination irregularity or malpractice pending the completion of investigations. It is unfortunate that a few contracted professionals are still insistent on ruining the future of our runners by subjecting them to examination malpractices. 120 contracted professionals were reported to have been involved in heading examination malpractices. Firm disciplinary action will be taken against such teachers. I also wish to notify the country that the ministry has now set up the National Examination Appeals Tribunal. My chairman and the members of the Education Committee will remember that we had an engagement in this and undertook to ensure that we exert the members, which we have done in line with Section 40B(2) of the NEC Act 2012. I therefore urge any Kenyan aggrieved by any process of the Council to seek redress through the tribunal. Accessing the 2023 Kcse examination results. And as I told you last time, we are not having a service provider, so the SMS system, we are not going to have that, but we have a system in place that people will be able to access the results immediately after this. The Council will dispatch the 2023 Kcse examination results to sub-county educational officers for distribution to examination NEC. Do I repeat again? One can direct their access either through the NEC website or directly through the URL https research.knec.ac.ke, and you will be able to get your research. This time round, we have worked with the engineers and the experts, and we are sure that the website and this particular system is working so that Kenyans will not be able to have the kind of inconvenience that we had last time when using a service provider. You will be required to enter your candidate's index number and the names as per the registration data for the 2023 Kcse examination. The results will be available immediately after this exercise. I now declare the 2023 Kcse examination results officially released and wish all the candidates the best in their future academic journey. I also wish all runners, teachers, parents, guardians, and all the stakeholders a happy and prosperous New Year 2024. Thank you, and God bless you. Thank you very much.
Okay, we are now going through the ceremony where the official results are being handed over to our Cabinet Secretary.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Well done. Thank you. My peers. Yes, please.
Thank you. I now request that we remain standing for the closing prayer. Our prayer will Mr. Mohammed Ali. Okay, I request that our prayer we go through our final prayer by Mr. Mohammed Ali, the County Director, Samburu. Asanteni.
Okay, let us go for closing prayer. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, thank you for giving us this opportunity as education subsector for official releasing of Kcse 2023 at Honorable Moi Girls. We thank our seniors for steering this exercise, and we appreciate God for this time. We appreciate all the sectors who have played the role to ensure that the success of this exercise. As we leave this place, we pray for all of us journey masses as we go back to serve the Kenyan children in different capacity, those of us who are leaders in the county, the National Assembly, the Senate who are here, who have joined us to make sure that this exercise is successful in this place. I also appreciate Moi Girls Fraternity for giving us this opportunity to make sure that the exercise is a success, headed by our able principal and all the leaders who are gathered here today. We thank Almighty Allah for this opportunity that is very great to.
Na mtazamaji, ni rasmi sasa matokeo ya mwaka 2023 Kcse yametangazwa na Waziri Ezekiel Machogu kule Eldoret, na tunaelezwa kwamba kwa sasa tunaona kwamba ni wanafunzi 899,453 ndio waliandika mtihani huo, tukiangazia kwamba watahiniwa 3,685 ambao walijiandikisha kufanya mtihani huo lakini hawakufanya mtihani huo. Mtazamaji, pia mtazamaji, kumbuka kwamba kutokana na matokeo hao ambayo yametangazwa na waziri ni kwamba wanafunzi au watahiniwa wanaume au wa kiume ambao wamefanya mtihani huo ni 450,544 na wale wa kike ni 1,440.